Here we go with secret weapon number 2 of how to receive referrals without asking.
You are not just another hustling salesperson. You are the expert, the resource, the valuable partner for your clients. And how you grow your business should reflect how your clients see you. Welcome to the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. We generate referrals without asking, build positive client experiences, and help you take control of your business. Here's your charmingly sarcastic host, Stacey Brown Randall.
Hey there, and welcome to episode 175 of the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Stacey Brown Randall. Okay, last episode, we unpacked secret weapon number 1, and it was all about being a good human. Now, as I mentioned, these are all interconnected, all 5 secret weapons. You can't use one without the other 4. You can't use 2 without the other 3. These are all interconnected, and we're breaking them down one by one so that you can make sure you have what you need applied in your business. Hopefully, applying being a good human is probably an easy one for you. Hopefully. Sometimes you are a good human, but you're allowing your antsiness or your concern to cloud how you go about building your referral-based business. And that's okay too. But we got to make sure we're focused on being a good human. Now let's talk about secret weapon number 2. Drum roll, please. Follow the right strategy. Did you guys like that drum roll? Okay, sorry. I digress. Secret weapon number 2 of generating referrals without asking is to follow the right strategy. How you take care of your referral sources, the people, the humans who refer you, must move from keeping in touch to being top of mind. And yes, keeping in touch and top of mind are very different. Keeping in touch means that I remember you in the moment and maybe for a few moments after that. Top of mind means you're never far from my mind and I'm constantly remembering you. So when we think about what top of mind is and is not, let's talk about what it's not. So these are the things that are more keep in touch. They are not top of mind. That's the once or twice a year where you're going to do your coffee catch up, or maybe you're going to grab a beer or a glass of wine after work. But it's like once or twice a year, that's pretty much all you do. You're just dropping in to say hello. Or when you do those random bump intos, like, oh, well, I saw him at the grocery store last week, so I'm good for another 12 months. Or you do some scheduled drive-bys and pop-bys. Yes, my real estate agents, your industry is notorious for this. But if that's all you're doing are these random drive-bys and pop-ins, and the things you're doing and the conversations are pretty much the same and the similar, right? That's just keeping in touch. That's not top of mind. Or if you're doing those monthly text or email check-ins, maybe they're every other month, or maybe they're every 60 days, whatever it is, right? You're doing these monthly text or check-ins. Your promo swag, that is not top of mind. You guys know I can go on a soapbox here and I will not. But when you give somebody something with your logo on it, it is not a gift for them. It is a gift for you. Your newsletter, that's not moving you to top of mind. That is just keeping in touch. Whether you email it or mail it out, that newsletter is just, you keep it in touch. And you're just remembered in the moment I see it in my inbox. I won't recall it typically 2 days, 7 days, 14 days later. Or that once a year gift or card, right, that you typically send at holidays. Like, well, I knock it out every holiday season in December, and that's what I give them so that I can stay top of mind. No, that's just keeping in touch. Now, let me pick just a few of these apart because I think it's really important for some of you who believe these keep in touch things are what it takes to generate referrals, and they're not. They're not going to be the things that are actually going to let you be top of mind. So those scheduled pop-bys and drive-bys that folks do, right, the first time, it's typically a delight because it's the first time they've received something like that and having you stop by their office or stop by their house and drop something off for them. But then they become those check-ins, right? And Diana Collin, who was on the podcast in episode 168, she talked about how those pop-ins then become routine. And then those pop-ins, those scheduled drive-bys, right? Those phone check-ins, you're always taught to turn it around back to you, which is typically always asking for the referral or asking if they know anybody who needs what you do. And that for some of you never has felt authentic. So you're taught, and I am talking about in the real estate industry, but this is in a lot of industries where I see this, right? And it may not be these pop-ins or drive-bys where you're dropping something off, but it could be these email check-ins that you're doing, right? And you're doing these every 45 days because you're just trying to keep in touch, but you're always having a reason behind it. And it's very obvious because you always turn them back around to you, which is where you're either asking for their referral, asking them to make connections for you, reminding them of your loyalty program, whatever it is. And it never really feels authentic to truly just taking care of them, to be top of mind. So another one, promo swag. I already mentioned this, but your logo on an item is a gift to you, not to your referral source. And hopefully that goes without saying that what I'm talking about is following the right strategy to take care of your referral sources. Is we're talking about your referral sources, not your clients, not your prospects, not your previous or alumni clients, not the clients that are working with you now, not prospects that may work with you, not the thousands or hundreds of contacts that you know. What we're talking about is innately understanding that these referral sources are the humans that refer a potential client to you. And what we want to make sure we understand when we're talking about the right strategy, it's not the things that you're typically taught that allow you to keep in touch. Because in some cases, they become so routine, happening so often in the same way that they start to be ignored, which is what happens with these pop-ins and drive-bys, right? Or they don't have the right impact we want to have because it's about you, not about your referral source, like some type of koozie, right, that you're going to give them with your logo on it or that promo swag. Or it happens so infrequently, it almost doesn't even have an impact at all. Like if you're only talking to your referral sources like once a year, grabbing coffee, right, or a beer after work to catch up, it's not bad per se, of course, right? One-on-one is important. But it's the intention behind it. And if you're just doing it once a year and that's it, and you're like, okay, now you're going to remember me for the next year and send me referrals, that's not going to create this referrals without asking explosion, this river of referrals that we want. So the strategies that we're taught about keeping in touch with our referral sources, when we do them, they're either so infrequent, they never have the intended impact, or they actually have the wrong impact because they're about you and not about your referral source, or they happen so frequently in the exact same way over and over and over again that the person starts to ignore them because they feel like you're trying too hard and it's very expected and they know what's coming. So that begs the question, what is the right strategy? If you are going to be top of mind with your referral sources, a lot of that does come down to how often you do things. And there is a thing as too much, and there is a thing as too less or too little. But the other things you need to consider is what you do needs to allow you to be memorable and meaningful. That matters. A check-in every 32 days where you ask me how life is, eventually I just start to avoid them. I just start to ignore them. Right? I know that there probably isn't the right type of intentionality behind it because if I'm really tuned in, I know you're probably doing that to everybody, not just me. So when I teach memorable and meaningful, we're talking about how we impact how a referral source feels about us in a very memorable and meaningful way. Surprise and delight. These aren't things your referral sources should see coming. They should be the things that you surprise and delight, even if it is one-on-one time with them. It's how you handle that one-on-one time with them that should surprise and delight them as they walk away from that coffee meeting. Like everything that we do, that I teach, comes down with a level of intentionality to where we are truly always looking at what our referral sources need. And then variety. There needs to be variety behind what you ultimately do. This is really important. You can't just text everybody every other month and think you're going to unleash some referral explosion. You need to be top of mind. And to be top of mind with your referral sources, that means you're following the right strategy and you have transcended keeping in touch. And you are always close by in their minds, you're top of mind because you're following the right strategy. And that means what you're doing to take care of them is memorable and meaningful. There is a surprise and delight factor, and there is variety to what you're doing. That's how you got to keep them on their toes, but always knowing that they know that you care about them and that they are important to you. So, referral secret weapon number 2, to unleashing that referral explosion or getting referrals without asking, is to follow the right strategy. And of course, we're talking about this on the show notes page for each of these episodes as well. So you can head over to the show notes page at stacybrownrandall.com/175. You just want to go back and remind yourself some of the things we mentioned, right? Go to the show notes page, stacybrownrandall.com/175. And of course, you can always share your thoughts on this episode in our Referrals Without Asking Facebook group. But remember, hear me say this, these 5 secret weapons, they need each other, all 5 together. It's like Power Rangers unite, right? You need all of them to make it happen, to make the magic work, to make the process work. You need all 5 of them. You can't just take these onesie doozies and apply it and think it's going to happen. So we've got more coming up with secret weapon number 3 next week. And that's coming up in episode 176. Okay, until then, my friends, take control and grow your business. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Roadmap to Grow Your Business podcast. To access all resources and links mentioned in today's show and to connect with Stacy, head over to www.stacybrownrandall.com.